Hi again. Okay, so in the previous video we saw how to install the software and then creating the shortcut and then we ended with that. So now I'm going to close this browser and then I'm going to show you. So this is the icon will look like. So it looks like a little L and the 9 joined together, LegEasy9 developer. And then when you double click, now I entered my own key, activation key and everything, so I will have full version, so that the banner on the side here, it's all removed and everything. So now I'm going to show you how to create a new application and then create a new form as well. So that'll be the starting point. So I'm going to go into ctemp. And then let's create, this is Windows operations. So I'm going to create a new folder called demo app, or data, or your company name. So whatever that is, you can enter, create this folder. So now that folder is empty. So we go back to the LegEasy and then we say, okay, we're going to create a new application and then we're going to go and look for that folder. So temp, and then we're going to go demo app, and then we're going to give a name. So this is going to be, I'm going to call it LE9 tutorial, tutorial, tutorials, because we will be working with the same application, and then I will show you quite a bit of things you can do with it. And then here the default styles, I will go with default, and then you can always change. We will talk about that the styles sheet as well. And then if I hit OK, it creates the database. So this is it created the database, and then if it's nothing in here. In the previous version you saw there are a lot of forms, and so if I filter that, you have seen a lot of forms and reports and procedures. So in this one, this is like a system created table or the form. We will talk about that later on as well. So for now I'm going to show you some files in here. So in the Windows folder, you can see now there's multiple files created and everything. So that's all good. So now getting back in here, at the top you can see the name and everything, what I called it. So now I'm going to create a new form. This is very the simple exercise. So you go file, new form, and then when you create a form, it'll ask you, not only the form is basically the user interface. So we need a table as well, like a backend table. So you select new table, and then I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to call this my customers. So this is just an example of it. So you can call it whatever you want. So I'm going to click OK, and then it's like a clean page, nothing in here. You can add the logo and things like that. So why don't I do that? So I go to objects, picture, click, and then let me show you. And then if I go to videos, I have logo here. As you can see, it's so big. So I'm going to go display, and then I'm going to be like, okay, stretch to fit, click OK. Normally, we don't do this. What we do is we edit this image in a nice video photo editing software. As you can see, when I do this within LegEasy, it doesn't look too good. Mainly because the DataEase is not a photo editing tool. So I'm going to delete that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the logos from my folder here. I have lots of different sizes. So let's see, let's pick one Let's see this. I think I do have one specifically made for DFW, which is DataEase for Windows. So I pick that one, and then you can see it's a very small logo. So I'm going to put it up there, and then also I can add some like exit button for an example. So I'm going to go ahead and create. I will show you. You can add an image as an exit button as well. So I will get back to that in a second. But in the meantime, let's say this is my customers. So I'm going to create a text label, and then I'm going to call it customer customer ID, and then colon. So that's the text label. So now I'm going to create a field which is objects field, and then click here, and then it automatically picks up the label. So now I remove the space. So that's, I will highly recommend not leaving any spaces or the special characters and things like that, because these are all used by the coding, the programming itself, so it will confuse more than anything. So it's good to keep it this way. So customer ID, let's say, okay, so we will definitely go through these as well. So different types you have. So the text, but the customer ID is going to be a number. So I'm going to go numeric string. What that means is if I say, okay, the customer ID is going to be 5 digits, so I put 5 9. So 1 2 3 4 5. That means maximum you can enter is that number, that specific number. And then here on the right hand side you have the different types. So the required meaning a mandatory field, so you must enter the customer ID before you can save the information. And then virtual means that it will do the calculation on the fly, whatever that. So we will different things. Unique meaning that you cannot have more than one customer ID with the same. So if you type in 1 2 3 for a customer A, and then for customer B you cannot type in 1 2 3 again. It will show you a message. So I will go over these as well. So for now I want to simply create this customer ID. Click, and then here the field I can give a little style and all that. So I'm going to, again, that's I have to go through the basics of that too. So now the next thing I'm going to call it objects text. So you can pick object text or Control T if you like shortcuts. So in the next steps I will be using all these shortcuts. So the field is F10 if you want to create a field. So let's do the next one, customer name colon, and then we go to object field. Click here. Again, as you can see, it picked it up with the space, so I'm going to remove the space. And then customer name, okay, let's keep it 40, just because this is just for testing purposes. But you can change this to 4,000 if you like. The text limit has changed in LegEasy. It used to be 255, but not anymore. If you want 4,000 and then hit OK, yeah, so it becomes a very big or very large text file, text field. So I'm going to keep it to 40. I don't think customer name is going to be more 4,000 characters long. So these are simple. And then the next one, Control T, and then I'm going to put in address. And then immediately I can do F10, and then it'll create the field for that. So now I'm going to keep it, let's keep it text 40, and then we will call Control T, and then we will call it a city, and then colon F10, and then that's, we keep it 40, and then next one we call state, and then colon F10, and then state, we're going to have two letters, two text. So I'm going to click OK, and then the next to that I'm going to control T, and then I'm going to put in a zip code, and then colon F10. So the zip code, again, that'll be a numeric string. So the reason we don't go with the number is if you go with number, it's going to put some commas in between. So we don't want that. So we want just a plain number. So numeric string, again, 5 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click OK. And then put it in like that. So this, I think this is plenty, the basics. So now I'm going to go save, and then I'm going to go close. So now I can show you it's been created in here but not refreshed. So what you do is you come out of reports, go back into the forms, and then you can see my customers. So if you click on that, you can enter the customer ID, name, address, and so on and so forth. But how do we save the information? So for that, you can go edit, record, save as a new record, or you can modify the existing record. So you can use all of these, the menu options. Or if I go to File, Designer View, and then I'm going to create a button for it. So let's create buttons. So I go Objects, Button, and then I click here, and then I call it record. Oh, no, I don't need to do record. Let's do save. And then obviously, I can give different styles on this, different colors and stuff like that. So the save, let's do fill is going to be a little green, and the font, let's make it red. Click OK, right click, and then go to font, and then make it let's say Arial, and then let's make it bold, and then 14 maybe, so you can see a little bigger. So that's we created the button. So now we need to put the action for the button. So right click, and then go to action, and then here you can pick all kinds of actions. So I'm going to look for the record save. So the reason I don't go with record save as new is that every time you bring up a record and then you hit the button, it's going to create a duplicate of it. So we don't want that. So if you go with the record save, if you are modifying an existing record and then hitting this button, it will update the existing information. But if you enter new information and then hit save, it will save. So it works both ways. So I'm going to hit OK. Now I can go to Object, Button, and then create another button. Or if I want, I can go click on that, and then I go Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. So since I'm using the menu options here, you can also note that there are shortcuts as well. So Control V to copy, paste, and then Control C to copy. So now this one, I could change the text to exit. So I'm going to delete that, and then just by right click and then go to text, you can enter any text you want. So now if I right click and then action, and then now I can say I want to document close. So you need to know the command, and then you can look for, if you're learning first time, you can go through these and then see, okay, what can I do with it? Each of them has a different functionality. So in this case, I'm going to go document close, click OK. So now we made some changes to the designer screen. I'm going to go File, Save, and then I'm going to go File, User View. So now I can put in customer ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the interesting thing is if I type in 1, 2, 3, and then if I come to the customer name, you can see it puts a 00 in front of it. That's what the numeric string is all about. The numeric string will keep it in this format. So if I put a number, if I make this a number field, it'll put a comma for every thousand. So it'll be like if I type in 5 digit, then it's going to be, so if I type in 1 2 3 4 5, it's going to put 1 2 comma 3 4 5. So we don't want that, right? So I put in 1 2 3 4, and customer name, I'm going to call it NAITCS, and then this one again, 1 2 3 any street, and then city, any city. You can put any city you want, and then state, let's call it okay, New York, and then go into the zip and then put in, I'm not sure what zip number to put in, so I'm going to put in 76554. Okay, so since I have entered all of this, I need to save. So I hit the save button, and then it's all saved. So now we move on to the next, right? So we go to the edit and then clear the form. So once we clear the form, it's gone from the screen, but it is saved behind the scenes into the table. So I can also exit, and then let me show you by going into the form and then go to, let's say, you know, I can pick first record, next record, last record. Since we only saved one record, I'm going to say last record, and then as you can see, it's already there. And then also I can view this in table, looks like Excel spreadsheet. So if I go to view table, and then you can see it looks like kind of Excel spreadsheet in a columnar view, but I only have one record. So let me go back to view form, and then that's the basics of how to create a form. And that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching.